Good evening, tasters. Nivola here again with another Nightcap Night. My research buddies and I recently had a vertical tasting of Bunnahabhain whiskies. We started with the 12-year-old, which, in my estimation, is an absolute classic. And some time ago, I rated it number 12 in my collection. We then followed up with this whisky, which is, I'm not a great one at pronouncing Scottish. I pronounce it as Stiuireadair, and it means helmsman. And the helmsman is on every bottle of Bunnahabhain. There he is there, and up on the shelf on the 12-year-old. So he's a bloke that I've become very familiar with. It's said that this whisky is matured in sherry casks with spirits of different vintages, hence why it's a no age statement. It comes in at 46.3, which is actually a pretty common alcohol by volume for this distillery. And here in Australia, we can buy this for about $100 Australian. Well, there's the colour, beautiful amber gold. And a very encouraging nose. The first thing that hits me are the raisins, and there's some spices. Funnily enough, there's a hint of furniture polish in there. I didn't actually know whether that was a good thing in whisky or not, but it seems to work fairly well. And there's a bit of that seaside stuff, walking along the beach and the waves washing up and that brininess in the air. Very encouraging nose. Oh, that's great. That's really rich and lively in the mouth, really full-bodied, coats the whole of the palate. There's the raisins that I detected on the nose. There's real sherry influence in that. Probably something like an Amontillado sherry. Hints of fairy floss, which in America they call cotton candy, I think. And some spices. Could be cloves, a bit nutty. And that sea salt theme keeps coming through. And the finish is long and really fruity. There's a bit of dark chocolate that goes in there too. This is a very tasty offering from this great Eirigh distillery. On this whisky, as on the Bunnahabhain 12, there is no hint of peat or smoke. Just a lovely whisky. The third whisky we tried in this vertical tasting, if that's what you'd like to call it, was this Bunnahabhain whisky called, well, once again, who knows about Spanish pronunciation, Eirigh. Eirigh means morning sky in Gaelic. It's a litre bottle designed for duty-free shopping. I obtained mine from my favourite online bottle shop called Nick's. If you live in Australia, have a good look at them online. and I don't receive any money from them, so there is no gain for me. I'm just suggesting it as a good source of good whisky. Let's try Eirigh and the Greine. It's a bit of a bigger bottle, litre, a bit trickier to handle at times. Once again, it's got the helmsman there proudly on the label. Well, this colour's really bright straw. Very dazzlingly bright. Lovely colour. A very different nose to the previous one, the Stiuireadair. It's maybe there's a slight hint of peat or smoke, but there's sponge cake and some sort of spice and like a fruit wine, not a grape wine, but a wine made from fruit, perhaps berries, cherries or something like that, strawberries maybe. Very interesting. Well, once again, that's a really full-bodied whisky, and it's smooth as, even at 46.3, and there's some sweetness and hints of cocoa, and the finish keeps rolling around. There's pepper and salt, really good balance between all of that. It's creamy, and it just a lingering finish. A lovely, lovely whisky, very tasty stuff. If you haven't tried any Bunnahabhain whiskies, I recommend, if you get the chance to do so, that you grab it with both hands. Do yourself a favour and get some bunny into you. All the best. And you won't be disappointed.